From Anshe Sfard Beth El Emeth Congregation, it's time to take 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Noach, the essential you. In the words of David Brooks, the New York Times columnist, according to the psychologist's view, people don't have one thing called character. Psychologists say that our actual behavior is not driven by permanent traits that apply from one context to another. Students who are routinely dishonest at home are not routinely dishonest at school. People who behave kindly on a sunny day may behave callously the next day. So he says that many psychologists believe that character is contextual. It depends on the context. The question for today is, do we possess an essential character? On the one hand, Parsha seems to lend itself to the notion of good guys and bad guys. We have the Vatishach chet haaretz b'pnei Elokim, v'tamalei haaretz chamas, that all of the earth became corrupt. It was as if the entire world were the evil people. And then, of course, you have Noach, ish tzadik tamim haya b'dorotav, a man pure in his ways, complete and whole. Noach, in complete contrast to his generations. As we said at the end of last week's Parsha, the thoughts of a man's heart are only bad all day. There's the bad guys and the good guys. There are the people who are good and those who are essentially evil. On the other hand, a more textured reading of the Parsha reveals a very different picture. It's true, Noach exhibited traits that were particularly righteous, but it says he was righteous b'dorotav, only in his generation, meaning that either in another generation he would have been even more righteous, or in a good generation he would have paled in contrast to Abraham or others. Really, he was not so fundamentally righteous. Now, this may suggest the notion of contextual character. Later on in the Parsha, it says that Vayachel Noach ish hadama. Noach Noach defiled himself, and he became an ish hadama. He became a man of the earth. Whereas at the beginning of the Parsha is known as Tzaddik Tamim. He is a complete tzaddik, a righteous man. At the end of the Parsha, he morphs into something else, an ish hadama. The same man who was an ish tzaddik, now he's an ish hadama. Now he's a man of the earth. Medrash makes this point that in fact he went from one thing to another. And the Midrash, there are those who say that it's not a question of good guys and bad guys, those in the ark and those outside the ark. There are others. There's Og. Og represents the one who, on the one hand, there's something good about him. He has some merit. On the other hand, Og is that evil man that eventually will be slain by Moshe himself. And the Gemara Nida discusses, did he hold on to some sort of plank on the ark? Or he was fed through a hole in the ark? But he was fed by Noach. He was in some ways saved, but in some ways he was drowning. He was somewhere in between. Og was neither good nor bad. It's not good guys or bad guys. Sometimes he was good, sometimes he wasn't. He doesn't have an essential character of either good or bad. What about the end of last week's Parsha? When it says that that the thoughts of a man's heart are only bad all day, it sounds like that man is essentially evil. Gemara Baba Basra, Reish Lakish says, one of the rabbis there says, that it's not that man is basically bad, but our evil inclination is completely bad. In other words, man is not essentially bad, but there is a side to us which is essentially bad. So what does this all mean? What are the rabbis saying about our essential character, the essential you? So I would like to suggest as follows. We shouldn't characterize people as one thing or the other. Oh, that person, he was bad when he was younger, he'll never change. No, we do believe in teshuvah. We believe that there are in different contexts for behavior. As a matter of fact, The Mishnah says in Pirkei Avot that you should never believe in yourself. And the Gemara says that you should know that you're Rabbi Yochanan Kohen Gadol. There was a great high priest in the Hashmonaic dynasty, and he served in his position for 80 years as a righteous high priest. And in the end, he became a Sadducee, a heretic. You think you can believe in yourself? You think you can trust in yourself that you're a tzaddik? You think you know your essential self, that you're so righteous? It's important to know that we can change and we can slip. There is no essential character. You have to work on it. Many people believe that, oh, I'm good. I think most Americans believe that, oh, I'm a great guy, sure. But the fact is, Rambam speaks in the laws of tshuva about how we have to develop our sense of character. It's something we have to work on. In the laws of Deot, we need to work on our character. It's not something you just come to right away, but it's doable. We can change our character. Is there an essential character? We can develop characterization, which can be known as Tzaddik Tamim. You can also slide and become, God forbid, Ish Adama. You can fall to the depths that Noach unfortunately fell to. The question is, which way will we go? Well, can we find our essential character? If the Gemara says that our evil inclination is only bad, and there's also the other side, there's the good inclination, which is only good. We can just tap into that. If we can tap into that identity which is so good, then maybe we could truly find an essential character and stick with it. Man, essentially bad, essentially good. There are only good guys and bad guys. There are these ogs in life. Perhaps we're all like Og, trying to hold on to that ark, trying to stay afloat, trying to remain among the good guys. But it's not always going to stay that way. We have to hold on real tight to that plank, to reach into that hole in the ark and try to fit in. Because even Yochanan Kohen Gadol, even after 80 years, we might slip. We need to hold on. If we can hold on, we can perhaps create for ourselves an epitaph for our lives, where we can say, you know what, the person wasn't one thing one day the next, but rather he was tamim, ish tam, he was complete. Like Noah tried to be, he was, perhaps we could strive to be one type of character and stick with it for all the days of our lives. Thank you for joining us here at the Anshe Sephardi Beth Elameth congregation here in Memphis, Tennessee. Join us again for other discussions of other Parshiot. You're welcome to check out our past archives. I want to thank Jason Lefkowitz for making today's presentation possible. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.